Ex-gymnastics doc Larry Nassar allegedly pays gangbangers for protection with sexual favors. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe our channel for more videos. Child molester and disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar relied on gangbangers for protection, paying them in cash and sexual favors, while he rotted inside a Florida federal prison, an inmate claimed. Around June 2021, Nassar, 60, was seen going into a cell at the federal penitentiary in Sumter County, Florida, with Mexican gang members, according to Grace Pinson, an inmate who did time. With Nassar at the high-security prison, the cell had its door shut and windows covered while the men were inside, which is done either when inmates are having sex or doing drugs. Pinson told the Post in a telephone interview from Allenwood, PA, where the now transgender inmate is currently incarcerated. Larry Nassar has decided sucking DK is a better way of staying alive, said Pinson, who was sentenced to 20 years in the clink for sending a threatening letter to then-President George W. Bush in 2005. The jailbird described Nassar, who sexually abused hundreds of gymnasts, including Olympian Simone Biles and Gabby Douglas, as a scared little church mouse who only left his housing unit in the prison to visit the chapel. There she would chat with him, including about his hired muscle. He wished he didn't need those guys, she recalled Nassar telling her. In some ways, what they expected of him was worse than the idea of being stabbed and killed. During his 5 years in Coleman, Nassar allegedly paid a couple $100s a month to the Mexican gang members for protection, Pinson claimed. The inmate insisted she learned about Nassar's hired protection from the gang members she hung out with in the prison. She claimed she also viewed a phone her cellmate had that was used by the gangsters to handle drug transactions and discuss other business. Pinson believes they were forcing Nassar to do sexual favors as payback for violating little girls, to humiliate and degrade Larry Nassar, making Larry Nassar suck your DK in prison. It's a twisted way of paying him back for what he did to those women. The paid protection, however, wasn't enough to keep Nassar safe from a near-fatal attack last year, when fellow inmate Shane McMillan repeatedly stabbed the serial sexual abuser in his cell in July after Nassar reportedly said he wanted to ogle female tennis players at Wimbledon. You're not going to risk your life for Larry Nassar for a couple of $100, Pinson quipped about the dirty doc's hired guards. The wicked doctor has since transferred to a federal prison in Lewisburg, PA. Bureau of Prisons spokesman Scott Taylor declined to comment on Pinson's claims about Nassar. Nassar declined an interview request. Jose Rojas, the former president for the Coleman Prison Officers Union who retired in December, questioned Pinson's jailhouse tale, claiming that Nassar was held in a dropout unit that is considered safer than general population. That's one of those places if you're an inmate you want to go into that unit because everything is quiet, Rojas said, adding that believes he would have heard from inmates about gangbangers leaning on Nassar. For decades, the former USA Gymnastics and Michigan State University sports physician sexually abused more than 250 girls and women under the guise of providing medical treatment. A slew of prominent athletes, including Olympians Ali Raisman and Michaela Maroney, helped bring down the deranged doctor by coming forward with their harrowing allegations of sexual abuse. Nassar was sentenced to hundreds of years in prison after pleading guilty to sexually abusing young athletes and possessing child porn across a trio of trials.